No matter what I do, I can't get my phone to look down. Look down at me, not up. Okay, I guess that's how we're gonna do it. Okay. So I've been having lots of thoughts concerning a lot of different visual kei royalty icons. I guess that's what I consider them. I wanted to talk about that. This is going to be a stream of consciousness type of thing, only probably not as bad. It's not going to be that insufferable. I hope not. This is such an emotional topic for me. Okay, so Atsushi Sakurai, lead singer of Bucktick, has been going through some health stuff. He got out of the hospital recently and he said he's been doing okay. It's really weird trying to follow these type of things because usually that information is only so findable for people who are non-Japanese fans. That day, I just fell into deep thought about all of these important people in the visual kei scene, even the ones who no longer really represent that scene, but represent when the scene kind of was in its infancy. It just kind of makes me sad thinking about the fact that these people are getting up in age and are having health issues and they're getting old, they're aging. I expected this video to have a happier tone and I'm gonna try to shift it that way, but let me start off by saying that I think there are people that are just spiritually in tune with what they do. I think there are people that are born to be musicians, singers. That was what they were put on this earth to do. When I say somebody was born to do this, I don't mean in the sense where they did not have to work hard to get where they got. Using Sakurai as an example, you can definitely see that, at least I think, his vocals got better over time. And even the way he expresses himself on stage got better over time. Like his body language, the energy that he puts into performing has grown intense over time. And now he's older and he's just amazing. Man's amazing. In the past he was amazing too, but he's transformed. Not even transformed, there's another word for it. I wouldn't say transformed because he was already very magnetic when he was younger as well, but he's perfected his craft, to be honest. And obviously there are some things that aren't going to be the exact same as you get older with your vocals and with the movements. Like you're not going to be shredding as hard on your knees, shredding as hard. Let's use Imai actually does a pretty good job. You're just not going to be able to do certain things when you're older. And I was thinking about this idea of people who are born performers when it comes to visual kei. When it comes to my culture, like Black American culture, we have those types of people. Michael Jackson. Stepping out of that, there's David Bowie. I guess Beyonce would be considered one of those people, although I don't really listen to a lot of Beyonce's music, but I do understand she has talent. Another one is Tom York. Oh, I love that man so much. There are just so many people that you look at and you're just like, they were born to do this. You can't imagine them doing anything else with their lives. And the intensity of which they perform, the way they express their talent is just so moving. And I know I'm a Cancer and I get moved by almost everything, but I think of people as antennas, and there are certain things that you're going to be receptive to as far as your personal interests, what kind of music you like, certain frequencies you're going to be able to receive, and other ones are not going to be on your radar at all. So when I think about my family, how they feel about like heavy metal, that's not really, or at least my older family, that's not really on their radar at all. The chances of them being moved by somebody like who's in that setting, in the heavy metal setting, is not going to happen. So you got all these people with antennas, and their antennas are receptive to certain frequencies and just not receptive to others. There are certain artists that come along, let's just use Michael Jackson as an example, who transmit a frequency that many people are able to receive. The amount of people he was able to reach was broad, was wide. When I think of all the visual kei performers I like, in comparison to like the really, really big people that are known throughout the world, they seem pretty small, but the signal that they give out, the frequency that they give me is very, very intense. Even though, I could ask somebody, hey, Luna C, bucktick, deer on gray, like, and people won't know what the heck I'm talking about. Heck, I was talking to a Japanese chick and she didn't know who deer on gray was. It's stuff like that. Like, it's crazy how these people can mean so much to you and they mean nothing at all to other people. So when you're getting this news that this person is in the hospital and you're like worried, they're looking at you like, what is wrong with you? And then they listen to the music and they're like, what is wrong with you? Like, it doesn't change. You're like rewinding stuff and you're like, no, listen to this part, listen to this part. And they're just like, what is wrong with you? You know, for some people, it may be something where it's like, it's just music. This person is just singing. It's just a band. I don't think they factor in the fact that you listen to these songs, you watch these bands, and they're such an integral part of your life, and they're connected to memories. I remember listening to Bucktick in high school. I remember listening to Hyde when I was in middle school. All of these things, this music, these people, they're connected to parts of your life that are connected to you. They're connected to heavier parts of your life, even though you don't know them. You don't know them personally, but they have been there with you in ways that they would not even know. I think it's something to think about, you know, your connection to these people. It can be heavier than you anticipate. I still remember getting my, this was in my adulthood, of course, but I still remember getting my first Luna C DVD and just watching the whole concert and just sitting on my bed at the old place that I used to live, lighting candles, turning off the lights and just watching it. And it was at a point in my life where I was just so happy, just so happy. Now I'm struggling with some things, but thinking about some of the songs actually reminded me of my happiness at that time. So I did my top 15 favorite visual kei bands on TikTok. Like, I did a recent one and I did an old one on my YouTube, and all those bands were with me when I was like 11, 12 years old. I'm connected to those people. I'm connected to those songs in ways that are indescribable. My soul has been touched by those people. I was just thinking about Atsushi Sakurai, like, wow, the idea of possibly losing somebody who has moved me so much emotionally as a listener of Bucktick is just the worst thing ever. And you know, sometimes I struggle with having thoughts like that, because when I think of these people, like for example David Bowie, when I think of these people, there's more worth in them as a human being than what they can provide other people. All of these performers that are passing away, that are leaving lots of music, they're more than their music and what they created, but also the music is a big part of them, right? If you believe that there is a spiritual element to the world, then you'll understand when I say that there are things that people can do that can really ease your spirit. And the idea of losing somebody who has provided so much for you spiritually, you know, during hard times, during good times, is very sad. It gives my brain a very melancholy type of feeling when I hear about all of these people ending up in the hospital, sick, can't perform for a week. It's just like, you're important to me. I'm all the way in America. I'm like, oh no, Atsushi Sakurai. But if something were to happen to him, obviously there would be more important things like him as a person, family, friends. I'm just some chick in America. You have all these people that are more important than just me, a fan, but it's like, I don't want to lose you. Like, I want you to continue living. And it's like, with old age, there's certain things that are inevitable. You know, some people could say health problems aren't inevitable because you could just, I don't know, go vegan. It's debatable whether or not you can grow to old age and have no problems whatsoever and never have a health problem a day in your life, okay? But I will say that it's always constantly like walking on eggshells for fans when they find out that these people that have moved them in such a way are getting sick, are having a hard time performing. Like I said before, this is kind of just like on the spot, an on the spot video that I'm making because it's been on my mind. But the idea of losing somebody who that I am receptive to, you know, that my antenna can pick up in a very spiritual type of way. Like I feel very moved when I listen to Atsushi Sakurai. His voice, it's very scary. And I think of a whole bunch of other people. I know it's not visual kei related, but I think about that with certain performers like Hyde. I think about Hyde all the time. I'm like, I cannot bear the thought. Even when I saw him perform in Boston and he was like flipping around and doing all kinds of stuff, me and my cousin were like, please be safe, please, sir, because you are not a spring chicken. And I know nobody aging likes to think of themselves as some fragile being who can't do this and can't do that because, oh, I'm so old. Both of them, Hyde and Atsushi Sakurai, they're very much still going to be performing until they probably die. They're going to be performing forever. Because, in my opinion, that's what they were put on this earth to do. I don't want to infantilize people, but I don't know. It's just a really scary thought. A few other people that I feel like were born performers, born to be in the spotlight, born to perform. Not even spotlight related, but I just thought of spotlight because I was thinking of Yoshiki from X Japan. I think Yoshiki is one of those people who was born to be a performer. Along with a lot of other members of X Japan. I was thinking about Toshi recently, but I feel like Yoshiki I see everywhere all the time. And sometimes he just blocks out everybody else. So I would like to say Toshi is I get the same feeling from Toshi, but I haven't watched enough of just Toshi exclusive stuff. I feel so ashamed. But Yoshiki is one of those people. I feel like he was born to perform. Sugizo, I know he already had a musical background when it came to his family, but I think Sugizo is another person. Ryuichi from Luna Sea, Kyo from Deer on Grey. I feel like all of these people were put on earth to do what they're doing. Something is flowing through them, flowing out to us, touching our spirit that is feeding us and giving us energy. You have family, you have friends, but then you also have those people who have made such a large impact in your life that you don't want to lose them in the same way that you don't want to lose your family and friends, only maybe not as intense because you don't know these people. I think the reason why I contemplated not making this video is because I don't want to put bad energy out there as far as like, oh, what if something happens to so-and-so and then something does happen? It's like, oh my God, is it because I said this and that? But it is a real concern for me. I think about it a lot. You know, all the people that I listen to, they're up in age. I would cry if anything happened to all of these people. There's a lot of death in visual kei. There's a lot of people that don't make it to older age. There's a lot that's not in our control. So we kind of just have to sit here and hope for the best. And that's what I do. That's what I do every day. I just hope for the best. Aging is inevitable. There's not much you can do about the process of aging. So the space that will be left when they leave this earth will be something that can never be filled again. Which I guess it just makes me sad because it's like these people are just so important, even beyond their family, beyond their friends. They have made an impact on so many people, and I'm sure they know this. I would like to think that they know this. It's indescribable, the gap that will be left when they leave the earth. I guess the best way to put it is when the world loses a star, the world gets darker. And it's interesting how you can have somebody that has touched you, that, you know, something happens to them and their loss has impacted society, but the society around you sees no difference. It's a very lonely feeling, and I feel bad because nothing's even happened to this dude. I know nothing has happened to him, but I'm just saying, just in general, you know, by the time I'm 50, we'll see. But it's just difficult to think about the loss of all of these people with different frequencies that are able to touch the souls of different people. You know, it's a gift. And for those who actually have found their gift, that's something really beautiful. And who have gone on to use that gift up until old age, that's even better. Some people do not live that long. I just think you know, the idea of losing a born performer is especially sad. All death is equal for the most part, unless you're just like a terrible human being. But when it's somebody who has touched you in that way, it's funny. When it's somebody who's done that for you, I changed it up a little bit, you know, so I wouldn't laugh and have to pause again. It can be especially difficult. And another born performer I feel like is Lime from Kizu. And I never know if I was gonna say I never know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but there's no way his name is Lime. Like, there's no way. It either has kanji in it or a kanji that I just can't read. So Lime, I think, is how you pronounce it, which I should know better because I listen to a lot of Kizu, but I think he's another example of a born performer. There's so many born performers, and I feel like I'm more receptive to the vocalists that are born performers. I'm about to end this video because it's a lot of rambling and a lot of getting emotional. As I said before, this is just my perspective of how I see these people. Some people could think that they suck and that they aren't born performers and be like, what are you talking about? This person, nothing's wrong with this person. What are you saying? But I genuinely think there are people who are put on this earth to do something to help humanity in some type of way, shape, or form. And if it's through the art that they make, the things that they say, their singing, their voice, that's amazing that they're able to do that. And just the idea of losing those people can be pretty rough sometimes. You know, you care. You can't help but to care, especially if you've grown up with an artist. But it just comes with the territory, and I just wanted to talk about it. As far as I know, it was reported that Sakurai he's doing okay. You know, that man is still performing, still wonderful as always, and I really wish the best for him. I hope he continues to live a healthy life, and I hope he is okay. Yeah, please like the video if you can, and I will talk to everybody later. I'm gonna go cry now.